Seriously? We're gonna end on that note. Again. What's up, guys? Mason the Rock Henderson here. This is Criminal Minds, Season 11, Episode 17, The Sandman. I don't even know how to do this review, because honestly, I just want to talk about what happened at the end. I want to kind of skip over the whole case and just go to the end and talk about that. But that's not a good coherent review, so. It was a good case. You know, it was fairly interesting. A bit different than most of the other cases that have been this season. With good backstory for the serial killer. I don't know. I like the thought that the hourglasses and stuff, like the turning of the sand. I don't know. It was very weird, and then finding out that there was bone inside of, like, crushed bone inside of the sand, as well as regular sand, is kind of like, ooh, that's creepy. But also just the fact that, his story, this guy abused him while making him watch an hourglass and said, if you don't cry until, the sand goes down, then I'll let you live. That's pretty messed up. It sounds like that character could have had his own episode of Criminal Minds as well. If he was alive in this time. I'm assuming the guy's probably dead now, because that happened when this guy was a kid, and that guy seemed like he was older. So anyway, but yeah, so that was pretty freaky, pretty creepy. The bone stuff was creepy, but also just I like the fact that the team kind of struggled for a second, because most of the time you see them they go to a scene and they form all these pieces together and like, all right, we're ready to give a profile, and they give the profile, and that's it. In this episode, they actually gave the wrong profile because the guy made a mistake at the first crime scene. And so what they thought was a family annihilator turned out to be something completely different. Killed the dad because the dad wasn't around in his childhood, left the mom barely alive, but enough to try to save her child unsuccessfully, and then kidnaps the child and has the mom suffer because of what his mom did to him, allowing the abuse to happen because she was drunk. So that was his plan, but it didn't work in the first house. He messed up. The mom died. So they thought he's got to be a family annihilator. They had the profile. They gave it to the police. And then when they realized, wait, he made a mistake in the first house, it was kind of like, oh, like that's very interesting. I don't know if I don't know if that's ever happened before, where they've actually given the wrong profile. I've seen it before where they start heading this one direction, like, oh, I think we got, and then all of a sudden a new clue comes to light, like a new body turns up, and they figure out something else, and it's like, oh no, actually it's something over here. But this is the first time that I can think of that they've given a profile that was wrong because of a mistake that the serial killer made. So that was interesting. And the way it ended was pretty good too, as far as, he goes back to take care of the kid, and there's Rossi like standing there with him, with the gun pointed at him. The other interesting thing, though, in the middle of this case was kind of Derek's reaction, and it was good and bad, because it was good because you want to see something like this. You want to see he's going to be a father soon, and he's experiencing these emotions whenever these kids get taken that he hasn't experienced before. The reason it was bad is because you would think that Morgan would realize it's because he's about to be a dad. Like, he's such a good profiler, he's so good at his job, that you would think he would realize that's why. But when he's talking to Spence about it, he's like, oh, I haven't recovered fully from the attack, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're going to be a dad, that's why. You're reacting poorly to this kid in particular. And I was like, I'm not even a profiler, and I understand this. But of course, Spencer sets him right. So it was nice to see him kind of struggling with that, seeing a bit of character development there. I mean, honestly, any character development you can bring us after 11 seasons is pretty impressive. Uh, so, that was a good little scene. And that's about it for the case. So, moving on, opens up. I actually missed like the first minute of the show, so I don't know what happened right before Morgan went to like I saw him walk into the room and there was a cake for the baby shower. Uh, so I don't know what happened before that. I assume it had something to do with the people that took him. I guess they may have discussed it. I don't know. Um, I was I was running late because people at the Wendy's that I went to are idiots. Anyway, personal life stuff. Sorry. So anyway, he's they're celebrating the baby. He has baby shower. It was kind of nice to see Hotch give them a minute. JJ comes in to collect him for the party, and he's just like, "We have a body in such and such place." JJ's like, "I'm gonna let everybody know the bad news," and he's just like, "Give him 10 minutes while the plane's getting ready." It's kind of like that's why he's such a good leader, because even though this is important, he understands that we don't have to leave right now, and this is a very important moment for Morgan and Savannah. So give them that moment. Let them have at least a little bit more time. So it was really nice to see. And then the whole case happens, and then the end. And I tell you what, previews sometimes can ruin stuff for you. Um, Sometimes, like, I'm a person who really doesn't like spoilers. I'm somebody who, if a preview comes on for something, I half watch it to kind of get a feel of what next week's episode is going to be about. But I don't, I try to not focus on watching every scene to be like, oh, that's going to happen next week, because sometimes they can spoil some stuff. Like if there's a scene where you think a character dies, but you saw another scene in the preview where they did this, it's like, oh, but they're not really dead because they saw them do this. It can ruin some stuff. The preview for this week, it was talking about the Sandman said, with a twist you won't see coming. I'm like, okay, so it probably has nothing to do with the Sandman. It probably has something to do with Morgan and the people that tried to kill him. And so after the whole case was over, I was just, all of a sudden I clenched up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. Please don't die. And then it shows him, he's at a poker game with Rossi and some other guys that I'm sure if I was more educated, I would know who they were. I don't know. I heard Rossi call a couple of them general. One of them, Morgan called him a rock star. So I'm guessing these may have been famous people, possibly. I don't know. I'm horrible with stuff like that. Anyway, so he's having a poker game, and then they're 25% of the pot for each round goes to Morgan's baby. So it's like kind of a birthday shower poker game type thing. And then he leaves, and I'm just like, it kind of seems like maybe it's wrapping up. And I'm like, please, please, please wrap up. And then it shows him going to the hospital and Savannah coming out to meet him. I'm like, oh no. And then they start talking, and then all of a sudden it shows a sniper scope, and I'm just like, and then gunshot, and you hear Derek, and I'm like, oh. I'm having flashbacks of the 4th season. If you've watched this show like I have, all the way from the beginning, all the way through, I have the first 8 seasons on DVD. So I was watching them all the way through. Watched the first season, second season, third season, fourth season, and I think at the 4th season I ended up not having the 5th season right after, whereas the first few I did have the following season very soon after. 4th season ended as I'm watching it, and I didn't have the 5th season. Like, I didn't have money for it, and my birthday wasn't right around the corner. Christmas wasn't right around the corner. So I'm just like, I need money so I can buy this, because 4th season ended with that shocking twist with, what's his face? The guy that Hotch had to kill because of something else. Anyway, it ended with the guy showing up in Hotch's apartment, and then gunshot. Screen went to black instantly. And it was just like seriously, you're gonna end a season with that? At least this one they ended, and next week we're gonna get the follow-up story. But it just made me have flashbacks. I'm like, I don't like this. I hate it whenever they do this. I hate it whenever they cut to black on a gunshot. I hate it. it just... I don't like this. It's scaring me. I'm worried that something really bad's gonna happen next week. Speaking of next week, yes, the previews did kind of ruin the fact that if you don't want to know anything about next week, if you're like me, if you don't like to know big spoilers, don't watch, because previews really did spoil a lot for next week. So that's your warning. So I'm just going to end the review here for you guys if you don't want to watch. So leave a like and subscribe. More Criminal Minds. See ya. On to the spoilers. Yeah, the previews show that it was, in fact, Savannah that got shot. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, how do you miss that as a sniper? Like, from the sniper scope, you saw Derek and Savannah was, like, in front of him. So maybe she just happened to move right as they were taking the shot. I don't know. I just feel like maybe they would wait until they had a clean shot. Unless they're really trying to torture him. Anyway, so yeah, Savannah got shot. It looks like Derek's gonna go all... Yeah. He's gonna turn into a badass next episode. But yeah, it fills me with dread a little bit, because even if he does make it out of this, and even if she does make it out of this, what about the baby? You know, like, what if they both make it out alive, but the baby doesn't? What if she makes it out and the baby does, but then Derek doesn't? Like, what if they manage to deliver the baby as she's dying, and now Derek has to raise the baby as a single father? What if Derek and her both die, but the child makes it out, and now somebody on the team has to take the baby? And... There are a lot of theories about what could happen. I'm not excited about any of them. I want it to all turn out okay, and this show maybe could do that. It seems like there have been a couple moments where things did not turn out okay. Hotch's wife, the FBI director woman, that the replicator killed. So, you know, things don't always turn out great in this show. Things don't always turn out, oh, hunky-dory. But for the most part, they do. But this is, I don't know, there's just an eerie feeling about all of this. Like, from what happened last episode, before this one, and what's happening now, it's just like, I'm scared to watch. I really feel like something bad is coming. And it's coming fast. And I'm freaking out. Like, I don't want people to die. And it feels like they're going to. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it for this review. So overall, pretty good case. Interesting, you know, serial killer in this one. But, yeah, the scene at the end, just like from 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the one before Derek's episode, yeah, it ended on a bang. And have me both nervous and yet excited for next week. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. You know, tell me what you think is going to happen next week. What are your predictions? Obviously, if you know stuff, don't say too much. But you know, what do you think is coming up soon? And leave a like and subscribe for more Criminal Minds. I'll see you at the next review. Peace out.